Right.
I mean, we've got several of these are sitting in the vents in the back of barns. You know, people have went in there and put them in, they're in the barn, you know.
Right, where you can't
so
see
you
'em.
can't see them, but they're still there because, you know, like I've been told, they are really good for feed and tack for the horses and stuff like that,
I mean,
because
you
mice
can-
can't get in them.
You got a
So I
good one.
understand.
You get a good one, you can lock it up and it's mouse tight.
Yeah.
Again, a good, but, you know, they do have lots of valuable uses, especially in agriculture.
I think they do. I'm just saying that I think that we need to have a good ordinance to say that's restrictive, so we don't have a bunch of.
Well, so we come back.
Well,
Why don't we let planning and zoning
Yeah,
put it together and then bring it back to us?
That's what I'm getting ready to
That's
say.
what I'm just,
You know, we can
Well,
talk
I don't
about
get it
it
right now, so it's not a
We
surprise.
really have to meet to it.
Yeah,
So I'll make a motion that we send this resolution recommending removal of section 807 article from the Spencer County zoning regulations.
Second.
all right, we got a motion by Zach, seconded by Will, to pass the resolution. I don't know what the number would be. Guess we'll need to put a number on it. You have any idea, Doug? But we'll get a number. We'll pass the resolution to remove section 807 from the county zoning regulations and send it to planning and zoning to take action. Any discussion? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Now, I do have a question, Vince. I think Thursday night we'll wrap up craft distilleries.
Okay.
You know, we're kind of moving down the line on things. We got several things to follow. Where's the priority of this?
This, just what, I mean, when you can.
Okay. I mean, do we want to get all of our distilleries, breweries, wineries? We got solar, we got windmills, we got a list of stuff we all got to, you know, we got
Yeah,
to go
I guess
over. We're
we
trying
should
to
Source
check
the
them off
top.
as we go.
Not, maybe not towards the top, but I mean, this needs to be pretty high up there.
Yeah, I think this,
Find some.
Yeah.
this and,
I wouldn't, I'm just fine anyways. It's ridiculous.
this and the distillery regulations are, we need them yesterday. Or just when you can get to them.
Okay.
Though, to me, unless someone disagrees, the windmill and solar stuff is less important right now than
Okay.
this and the distillery, in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, we just try to be thorough. We don't try to do stuff haphazardly and.
No, y'all do a good job.
amend it left and right, so. Okay,
Y'all
thank
do a
you.
good job.
All
I
right.
think it's all, let me see. No, one more thing, don't run off.
Okay.
You're in good shape. I wanted to tell everyone, and Corey and I are celebrating this, but Heritage Hills is complete. Mr. Martin Humes, the resident that lives beyond where the blacktop, he gave me a thumbs up that he's happy with the outcome. So we will need to start the documentation, I guess, of taking those roads into the county road system. Yeah, get all that taken care of, because that'll be done, and then,
That's Todd approved this?
It'd be upon approval of the
Yeah.
county engineer and the road department.
Yeah, I know they're good with the dirt work and the gravel that's on the shoulder. And but as far as the blacktop, they just did it the other day. They did drop a little bit of blacktop on the existing old road. Somebody needs to take a spade or something and clean it off.
I was just up there yesterday. It looked like it was pretty flattened out, so I don't know whether they ran over it several times or what.
Okay.
but it's,
You talking about the spillage?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And
That's to slow you down.
speaking of blacktop, before I forget it, the developers resurfaced Post Ross or existing county road that was supposed to be done, so it looks good, so. Yeah, we're done with that.
I would assume that still Todd or whoever would have to send the letter.
That'll all have to take place, yeah. That'll have to take place. And then I think there is, we've got some more work to do in silo farms on the culverts and things. But there's some blacktopping that could be done. Now, we may want to wait and take, where I'm going is we got roads to take in.
Right.
Once we get all the documentation.
Well, silo is a question because we accepted the bond. We called the bond on that. So shouldn't we already have an ordinance in place to accept those roads when we took the money for the roads? I feel like that's something that should come pretty quick on that one.
I thought some.
And then, I do have another
I
question.
think the county did,
Mowing.
Those culvert crossings ain't done yet.
I discussed the mowing, and it's, I mean, you all correct me, and anyone correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, that's a county road, even though it's in a subdivision. And if there is Johnson grass hanging over the edge of the road, we need to mow it.
Well, Todd says he doesn't have equipment to mow. That all of his small stuff he doesn't have, all he's got is a big batwing and he can't turn it around in a subdivision or something.
We can.
I can turn a semi around and
We can. We'll work on that.
But that's what I told him. I said, I feel like if it's a right of way and it belongs to the county, we have to maintain it.
Right.
You ain't got a weed?
Well, ideally, I mean, it's kind of like I was up at Woodland Hills yesterday, looking at the end of, the guy called me about the end of Dole Run, where he had a cable up.
Hickory Woods.
Okay, Hickory Woods, the one at Waterford, not the other one.
Hickory Woods, that's Dole Run.
Yeah.
That is that one.
The one that goes up the big hill.
Yeah, the steep hill goes around this way, yeah. But I went back there, and I mean, there was one or two lots where the house isn't built, that Johnson grass has grown up. You know, I feel we need to mow that.
Do we have side mower, boom mower?
We still do.
Can you do it? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then there you
Yes,
go.
sir. So,
Well, I mean, we just field the complaint calls is the problem,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and
You
we
just
gotta
answer
be
the
able
phone,
to
right?
tell people
Right.
what's, you know,
well, and like out at Silo Farms, I mean, my expectations would be that, yes, when you come through there, you need to go in there and mow those 2 or 3 more places.
Well, are them lots owned by, I mean, they're owned by somebody, correct?
not the right of way.
Yeah, what is
That's the
right, like
thing,
from
is
Center
right.
Road, how far?
Some of those are 30 foot,
They ain't mowing a whole lot.
25 to 30 foot.
I'm saying whoever owns it, are they mowing the
Well,
whole
I think
lot,
it's-
just doing that?
I'm thinking those lots they're talking about, is like over a culvert or a head wall or something
Yeah.
over there.
That's a silo farm. But what he's talking about is there's people that own residential lots up there that just they own it, but they just leave it alone and then the whole lot's just grown up.
Yeah, they haven't built on it yet.
Right.
And I mean, we don't have any,
Well, now, on those, we can get after them. They have to mow at least 3 times a year. So whenever somebody calls and there's a lot in a subdivision that's not been mowed, we do send out a letter, you gotta mow your lot.
I mean, what if it's a 5 acre or 10 acre lot? Does that apply to them too? If it's
I think it,
agriculture?
well, I have to look, I think it just is, it's the nuisance ordinance, I think it's just residential. It's, you know,
Yeah,
it's
ours on.
5
Well,
acres.
I feel like if they have a lot in subdivision and it's owned, and I understand that's right away from the center of the road, but the person that owns that lot should maintain that lot all the way to the road.
If it's in subdivision.
It's not illegal, probably not legal, you can do that.
And most of it, I mean, if it's their front yard, they are, you know, but you've got some areas where
You
it
got like
falls
culverts
over
and
and that doesn't get mowed all the way that far.
Or you got
Unless
steep-
you've got 25 to 30
16,
feet
30,
right
Well,
away.
either way, Todd needs to mow right away.
Well,
On the road.
I mean, especially if you're coming by there, it doesn't take long to whip in there and mow 2 or 3 spots and then get on up the road. And I mean, where it is on the county, even if, you know, on the county road, and it's like Zach explained, it's kind of like over at Whitfield. When you drive over at Whitfield, I mean, you've got hundreds of folks and homes in there, but there's some places over a culvert, and the Johnson grass is, you know, you drive through, it'll hit both sides of your truck. All right, that ain't acceptable. We need to mow that. And, you know,
Well, we need it,
so, you know, we owe it to all the residents to mow the Johnson grass off the side of the county roads.
And Todd should be instructed to do it.
Yeah, all right.
Where are we standing with the culverts on
We'll take care of it.
Silo Farm?
What's that?
Those culverts on Silo Farms, I know that we looked at that a long time ago.
Yeah, we looked at it in cold weather.
Yeah, I remember.
It's coming,
Okay, I just didn't know, are we
Yeah.
planning on having that completed by the end of the year, those culverts?
I hope so.
Okay, all right.
Yep. All right, thank you much.
Thank you.
Next in your book, the school district rates is on page 44. Just for information purposes, the conservation district rates. Next on page 45. Now Sandy, you're up, page 46. Christmas on Main, if you'd like to come and address us.
I'm basically here in case you have any questions, but I did want to add some information about Christmas on Main, requesting some type of support, anything that you all think you can do. Last year, we had, in addition to what you all gave us, we made that happen, we had $3,675 in sponsorships in the community, and we upped part of the budget this time, the decorations budget, because there has been some talk about somebody maybe putting up a large tree, and if they do, then you're responsible for decorating that and buying those decorations. Also, one other thing we would like to do, that, if we don't get enough, and these will be cut, but we'd like to have some type of community thing. And we're thinking about like a photo op type of thing that sits out the entire time. It doesn't just happen on the day of Christmas on Main. We've bounced around some ideas, and it's whether or not you all would be interested in us doing that. I've looked into things that you can purchase, and you're talking about $3,000 to $30,000. And that's a wee bit steep for us. I looked into making a giant Christmas wreath that you could make a photo op, and you could find a place somewhere in town where we would set it up. It would stay out the entire Christmas. And we also had another idea, possibly talking with the school and the city. We have a bunch of farmers here, borrowing a tractor that's red or green that they haven't used for a while, or don't have to have every day, and setting up a photo op with the hay bales in front of it, the tree beside it and stuff, and we'd be responsible if somebody could give us a tractor for setting it up and maintaining it. But this is basically what we had, and whatever you feel like you could do, if any. Do you have any questions?
I know we had some money, I know we gave some money for this last year. Did we set aside something as a budget line for this year or not?
Yeah, well, and I was trying to remember, because last year we gave the difference, I believe, of what you needed, where you come up short.
Yes.
And I don't know the timeline as to when you know how short you are.
Looking at the budget right now, we're about 3,000. And this is taken into consideration, but I believe we'll still get our sponsors from last year.
Yeah.
They've been pretty consistent. Then if you are amenable for doing the community things and adding that to it, about $3,000 is where we are. But we're happy with anything that you can do. So
We took them last year, we donated 4%.
Okay. And I know that brought you over the hump.
the reason we are in better shape this year is because it poured down raining last year. And I think I gave you all a report on like January, February of all that. And what we did, the type of gifts we have, we could keep, so we stored them. And that's why you can't give in our attic now. But we stored them, and we don't need as much money for gifts this year.
I know we are planning, or I think the plan is to pour this concrete slab out here and hopefully put a tube in there so we can put up a big Christmas tree.
That would be great.
I know what's the plan.
Yeah, we've already decided.
Yeah.
We're gonna do what Zach said, and I'm picturing a 15-foot tree right in the front yard of the courthouse, right outside the PVA window.
And I'm assuming we'll be the ones that will make that Christmas tree at one time. Let you all decorate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We make the decorations.
I know, I talked to a new tourism person, and she said that they would put a decoration.
Yeah.
Well, we will let them do that too. if they want.
But
We're a very small group, and
Yeah.
we love having that.
what we need to do
We had
is
some money, in community events, but most of that's already here.
use
Yeah, that's what we just figured out over here.
what we can do is my office, we can reach out to the tourism,
Yes,
the Main Street Committee, the city of Taylorsville, everyone that should contribute to a community Christmas tree, and try to get the tree located, and then have a budget for it, and then, of course, we'll fix this place to store it. But where we would have this tree every year, and there wouldn't be any question about what the plan was.
that'd be great.
So I think we can pull that off. I mean, it's only September now, but it's time to be planted.
Well,
Are you
I like
thinking
that.
about an artificial tree that
Yeah.
we can use it or put a lot
Well,
each year?
I was thinking an artificial, because then you know it's there, it's ready, you got it, but I'll do whatever anybody wants.
Things are expensive.
We'll try.
I was going.
15-foot outdoor trees, probably $2,000.
At least, yeah. I looked at those too.
Okay. Well, I know they had looked at them in the past, and I remember a year ago, somebody was like offering to buy it. I don't remember who that was.
I thought it was tourism.
Talking about what?
The tree.
Tree,
We need to pass it.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
tourism was it at that time. I don't know what their budget is right now.
Yeah, well, we'll try to, we'll get into that. And-
When do you need to know our donation about, I mean, what's your deadline? Need it now, or?
And no, we have a small amount in the bank
Yeah.
to cover the later donations, so we can start out with that. So it'd be a month or two.
I like what y'all are doing. They're taking care of,
Yeah.
300 kids. I'm gonna make a motion to give y'all $4,000, the same as last year.
Second. All right, we have a motion by Will, seconded by Jim, to donate to $4,000 to the Christmas on Main Street. I got that name right, correct?
Yes.
The Christmas on Main Street celebration. Any discussion? Hearing none, all, Brittany?
Now, I mean, quick question, you had some stuff, you said you had some stuff left over from last year.
Yes.
Does 4,000, I mean, would 3,000 cover your gap, or what's the figure here?
3,000 would probably cover the gap. We are very tight on what we do, so that's the reason it does. We personally donate a lot of our own stuff, so, but we can continue to do that, and the 3,000 would cover.
My thought is that the 3,000 would cover, and if we do need to buy a tree later, maybe we ought to do 3,000 here, and then they'll give us a little bit more put towards the tree later.
Of course, if they had extra, they could probably chip 1,000 of their money into the tree, and that would save us. It'd work, I think it'd work both ways.
I have faith in y'all's group. I think if you got extra $1,000, you'll keep it for next year.
Brittany had a,
That would require a transfer. I think you have $2,800 left over from the bicentennial that we can pay from, but I'll need you all to tell me where you want to take the other $1,200 for transfer, which is fine. I think we can support it, but I just need you all to tell me where you want the money.
She said we have $2,800 left for the bicentennial we can use, so we can transfer it, but we need to know where we can take the other 1,200.
We worry about the transfer out of the transfer.
yeah, Doug will find it by the time we vote on transfers, right? All right, we have a motion on the floor. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. You want to oppose? Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandy.
I'll
and-
keep you apprised of where our budget is at all the time.
And I want to invite the community, I know it's early, it's September, but it is, the last year it rained, it stormed, but when we went over to, I call it the old school, we went to the, what's it called now, the childhood,
Early Learning Center.
the early learning center around town, where the school hill is. You couldn't have got wet or cold enough. The joy in that room of all those kids getting, and me too, getting free food, free hot dogs, Cokes, chips, they were playing games. The joy of that, that and handing out the Christmas boxes to folks before Christmas get you in the spirit. And I invite the community to partake in these type of activities.
Thank you.
So,
This is off that man, say really quick, you said that about the change of subject totally. I really do appreciate you in your support, but you were talking earlier about the tire amnesty. Whenever you have anything like that, you know you are chamber members. If you send it to them, they will blast it out to all their members as well.
Okay.
It will go in their newsletter and Facebook and all that, if you want to get word out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Sandy. And thank you so much for all you do, and Peter, you too. I know that when we get Sandy to help in the community, we get Peter also. You get 2 for 1. So that's a good deal. So thank you all. All right. Old business, we already discussed.
Can I comment as in other office, under other office?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And for the audience members and people at home, I know that this probably should be handled in private, but I've attempted to get this resolved and I've not had any luck doing so. I'm just asking the court why reading on the voice message of the county clerk's answering machine was changed. I wasn't asked about it, I wasn't told about it. Now I'm getting all the calls to my phone. Not only am I getting voicemails, but I'm getting emails, hundreds of emails.
I want to make a comment on this, being that you won't bring this up here, but when you dial the county clerk's phone number, an automated message comes up that says, press 1 for the county clerk, press 2, stay on the line, or press 2 for the next deputy. Why would you not want the public, when they call your phone number, to get your number? Now, when you call Becky over here, her number, it goes to their office. Why would we tell people that want to talk to the county clerk to call Becky's office?
There were 5 prompts on my voice message before, so apparently you knew all this happened.
No, I called the county clerk just the other day.
Right.
And didn't get nobody, and nobody called me back either.
Right. Did you get the message?
I did.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't get it. I tried to go through the voice messages. It's so distracting to have voice message upon voice message because I'm number 1. Becky's not number 1 on her voice message. If you call any other county clerk in Kentucky, you're going to find that they have multiple options because we do multiple things. It's not elections, voting, the county clerk, and everything else. We had an option for the circuit clerk. We had an option for land records. We had an option for vehicle transactions. And I believe we had an option for title lien statements. Someone just took all those away, like that doesn't happen anymore. That helps channel the calls to the appropriate person. Now everything rings to me.
When you call the county clerk's office.
When you call your number, it rings to you.
Right.
As it should.
If
you call your number, it rings to you.
My phone, not the other deputies' phones. My phone in my office, in my email. They don't get the emails. They don't get the phone calls.
If you press 2 on that, does it not ring to the deputies?
Not all the time. We're having phone issues and I can't seem to find anybody to give me contact information to try to get this resolved. Some of the holds, some of the parks, when they put them on park, it's not putting on park. They're all having issues. They called yesterday to try to get a contact number for Nextiva. They got nothing. I could get nothing from the deputy judge because she was leaving at noon. I wanted to see what I can do to correct this. You call the sheriff's office. How many options does he have? It's not talk to the sheriff and everybody else. It's just, that's not the way you do things when you perform multiple duties.
All right, well, here's what I think you need to do, and then we're going to move on. The circuit clerk was getting inundated with calls also. And I guess they must have been getting inundated by your calls before, and I think it kind of helped their problem. So, but you're getting more calls. What I suggest is you and the circuit clerk get together, come up with a solution, and we will make the adjustment. Can you do that?
Can I ask you why this was done without my...
Can I ask you to, I'm asking you, ma'am, just get with the circuit clerk and we'll get this resolved.
That would be lovely, but why could I not get this answered in
No
email
buts.
after email after email?
No buts. Just please get with the circuit clerk and we'll get this resolved.
If you're going to enter...
We'll get this resolved. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, I appreciate your cooperation. You're serving the public well.
As you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. The soccer, let's see, Heritage Hills, we took care of that. Soccer lease review. It's on page 50. I personally have, I don't think we should do a 10-year because that's too long. I know we've had discussion about the $1 a year.
I looked at this, I had concern about the dollar, I had concern about 10 years, and you can't have, neither party can make, can negotiate out of the contract, or has the option to terminate the contract until after the 10 years. So you're initially locked in for the 10 years. I don't like this agreement at all.
So how many years do you think we're,
I mean,
a year at a time?
I think it's even, I mean, at the most, I'd say maybe 2 or 3, but I mean, I prefer the 1 year. The soccer association has, the same guy is not chairman of the soccer association anymore. They're under new leadership. I think it would be, us not doing our due diligence to go on a 1 year until we find out that we're gonna be able to work with them, they're gonna be able to work with us under the new leadership. You know, I would, it means that they're under new leadership at 1 year max until we have to go get a year or 2 under our belt and see if we're gonna be able to work cooperatively with one another.
Yeah, I agree with the year at a time, and then I wondered about, if you look at number 7, about them charging admission. You know, if, since this is a county park, if someone wants to come and walk with their grandkids or walk with Upkeep or something, you know, they gotta get past them, they don't need to be paying admission.
I agree, I saw that too. I made some notes down here, about that. You know, of course, then we've always had the concern of, you know, everybody wants to make improvements, but, it's always on our dime when when people are just going to do a $1 lease. So we still talked about how we needed to probably make improvements monetarily to lease agreements to cover both sides so we can make improvements that they need. But it's still, but it is our part, but at the same time, most of the things that they're asking for is benefits that just improvements that just benefit them and their league. And I think we need to make adjustments to where both parties are equally financially responsible, or at least more to an equal financial responsibility.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I don't think we need admission to any of the parks, or any event in the parks,
I mean, and we're still making improvements on our own, like in Waterford, where we did the parking lot expansion, we did that whole culvert repair, the ditch line repair, the new fence, that falls on us, new playground equipment falls on us, and anything else that, is something that strictly would be beneficial to just their league. We need to discuss, financially, who's gonna be responsible, other than them just paying a $1 lease and then us holding the bag for everything.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, is that they'll take that admission that they get, and they won't improve the park, they will buy new equipment and buy stuff like that for their own benefit, probably. Makes sense, so.
Well, and it's kind of like when you asked the question at the last meeting about how many members they had, and it was $85 a player.
Well, so I talked to my wife about this because my son plays down there. It's $135, but you can forfeit the $50 if you work the concession stand. But the concession stand ain't open, so and most people, are really busy, so they pay the $135, just like we're doing. And they had 220 some members. That's a fairly large sum of money.
Plus 1,000.
That they're taking in, and I think it would only be reasonable for us to ask for a better financial contribution in a lease agreement.
So, I mean, what I'll do is we will engage them, and I made a note on number 7 about them charging admission. It seems like we're against that. So, and then I think we're kind of set on 1 year, year to year.
And I think that, Doug brought up a good point, but, I think, if you do the year lease, it also needs to be, I think, in there that, at the end of that year, close to the end of that year, that they need to give, maybe some kind of financial report on their end, what they've taken in, what they did, this, that, and the other. When we start talking about possibly renewing the lease for the following year, so we can figure out, where they stand, what improvements that they need, what their money situation is like as in comparison to ours. the soccer's been there a long time. I want to continue a relationship with them, but I want to improve the relationship to where both parties can work together to make substantial improvements, not just minuscule based off what we can afford.
Yeah.
Well, our lease for the last 10 years or 15 years has been a year lease, just renewed, correct?
Yeah, automatically renewed.
So,
Yeah.
I don't see nothing wrong with what we've been doing.
Well, and I know, you know, and hats off to them for working and volunteering, and for the lady that came and spoke to us last meeting, you know, and she ran across several items that she'd like to get done, and she gave us cost estimates. And I mean, it was several $1,000s. And of course, they wanted a long-term lease, she said, so they could get like a big national grant, you know, to put in. And I just don't think that suits us at all, us being a county park. You know, if we were a church park, or we were a private park, or a private entity, whatever, that would be different. But where we are a community, we can't do that. So the long-term part is out of it. You know, but I did, you know, welcome her to come to us if she wants to build that fence. And I did have Daniel go and Brian, and they checked the bathroom stalls, and they were okay. They work and match like they're supposed to.
I know we've been doing it 1 year, you know, for years and years and years, but it seems like this is starting to rear its head where they want to start making substantial improvements and move forward. And I just, we don't have the money to do all the improvements that are coming. So I'd like to first reach some kind of agreement where we both pitch in.
Yeah. Well, we definitely pitch in. We know that.
Well, I mean, but where we get some help on the other end.
And I don't mind doing a longer term lease. I don't think it's 10 years is the thing. I think I wouldn't mind doing it every 3, 4 years. So.
I agree, because if they're willing to
spend
make
money.
improvements, they're not gonna make
I mean,
improvements,
if I lease a,
not knowing whether or not they're gonna be there the next year.
You gotta do a bunch of work, you're not going.
Well, but I'm not leasing from the county government.
Oh, yeah, I know that too, but it's the same thing. You know, that's where, I see where
Or
they're.
nobody else is using your farm.
Right. You know, I don't want us to fence ourselves in to where it allows a sports organization to not allow the community to come in and walk their dog. You know, we can't have that.
Well, you know, we could give them a 3-year lease, with stipulations in there that at the end of each year, we will revisit this, and if there's any issues that the county has, then we can get out of that 3-year.
Then we have the right to terminate it at that time if the project's not.
Yeah.
If you do a long-term lease, this needs to be spelled out, that's expired.
I just didn't like that that they proposed 10 years with no way for us to get
I
out
don't like
for
that
10
at
years.
all.
Yeah.
That's
Well, there's a chance they're watching, or they'll watch this, and I want them to appreciate our conversation. We want to work with you, and but what we'll do is we'll set up a meeting with them, and we'll discuss all these concerns, and
And
I'll bring it back.
I know that they was talking about they needed like at least a 10 year to apply for these grants and this, that, and other, which is all well and good. And I'd almost be willing to sit down and think about it more on a 10-year basis if you had a 1-year annual review process that included plays out for us at Foster.
Yeah.
If it's not going on, you know.
And then another thing that we gotta keep in mind is that we are limited on what type of obligations we can put on some things.
Right.
What we can allow someone else to have. So, but we'll have more discussion, and we won't agree to any, you know, before we agree to anything, it'll be this group that agrees. So, we'll get back with you guys on that. I added one item under the old business. The last meeting, you all directed me, and we voted to go ahead and get those 2 land appraisals on the Sweezy donation. Those are in the works. One guy said it'd be up to 4 weeks. Another guy, I think, is doing it this week. So that's in the works. And then Brittany and I reached out to Hagan about where we kind of landed on moving the building up toward the front. So, but basically they're aware of that. So that's all. That's in the works. I know the animal shelter's not on here, but when y'all go, I challenge you guys to go look. When you drive by, it looks small. Get out of the truck and walk over there if you haven't gotten in there. It's a nice sized building. I mean, what's there now is probably 1,500, 1,700 feet. I don't know. I was just stepping it off because I didn't remember the size.
What's the,
Animal shelter, yeah.
what's up right now, I think it's the kennel.
It was 40 by 48, I believe.
Yeah, and they've got, they've poured the concrete, the plumbing's inspected, then they've got plumbing outside where they're gonna do more construction. And Mr. White has got the, and we do have conversations nearly every week. I know him and Jim talk maybe even more than I do. Daily, that's good.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've met with him 2 or 3 times this past week. There is an issue that I think we need to address on the animal shelter. Yesterday's talked about the outside counters. Okay? It's gonna be concrete with a concrete block wall between, just like the inside. Okay? Now, the drain is on the inside of the building. Okay? And then we've got these guillotine doors that come down, you know, from the chain and close. Now, he said, how do we want to do the concrete on the outside as far as sloping away from the building towards the building, whatever? I think my view was that from the beginning, that we could open those doors up and then wash off everything outside into the drain inside, okay? But in the wintertime, the water's gonna freeze, blah, blah, blah. He said there's a couple ways you could address it. One would be to do just what I said, or to put another drain on the outside that will tie into the sewer systems, just like the inside.
I would think you put a trough drain or something on the outside, make it all fall. I wouldn't think that'd be a.
We cannot wash it out into the parking lot, so.
That's what I'm saying, just put a trough drain all along the kennels, however they want to do it.
But I'm saying, do we want, because that's, you know, that was part of the deal. It's not in the
It'll be an
contract, it's not in the blueprints, or
Right.
anything.
So
So
they
it's
should
correct
figure that how it costs.
what it would be our extra cost, whatever, if we want to put a drain in there, so.
You change order.
Yeah, and we've already got a few change orders already, but
But anyway, it's up to us to decide, you know, how we want to do it.
I think that, an outside drain, I think if you're trying to use a hose to spray everything back through that little guillotine door, it's gonna be a mess.
and it could be a mess inside if you get just right. You'll be
Spraying it out.
spraying somebody in there, yeah.
So anyway, he needs an answer to it, so we need to make a decision with that.
I think he could tell you the estimated cost, but usually good.
I mean, it'd be a few $1,000s.
But what the other drain system costs if we wanted to do that, you know, it'd be probably the same drain.
I mean, we could general consent if you guys go ahead and put up the outdoor drain. I mean,
I would just put, I mean, Doug knows, or Tim knows this guy, but I mean, adding a drain, the length of them kennels tied into the sewer shouldn't cost that much money.
And he could pretty well give me an answer, because he knows what the inside drain costs, and it's gonna be probably identical to it, you know.
Well, you're gonna have to have 2 of them.
On the outside, yeah.
yeah. But I mean, it'll
I mean,
be,
that outside drain could went, but there's already concrete in the main part of the kennel, or no?
in the main part, yes, but of course, the outside, it's
Well, I was
tight.
saying that trough drain could come right under the building and tie into that original drain.
Yeah,
So
the
you're
drains
gonna
come
come
out,
around somewhere.
the drains, I think, come out on the front of the buildings.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to run that drain around to the front and tie in.
Where it ties in, and we could just tie those 2 pipes together, the 2 drains.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not the end of the world, so.
But I mean,
This will fix it right.
he needs an answer if that's what we wanna do, and then I can get it, I'll email you what he says the cost is.
We can
Okay.
vote, or we can just give him
Yeah, let me just,
consent.
I'll just, yeah, so this is what we wanna do, give us a price
All right, y'all good with that?
Yeah.
on it. Okay.
All right, so that's good. Thank you, Jim, for taking care of watching that all get done. We've got this resolution.
Go ahead, forgot one more thing. I met with Doug and the contractor, who's gonna put the metal building up over top of, the whole thing, a couple days ago. Anyway, he was gonna order the metal, or the trusses.
Don't ask us
That
about the color.
day.
So don't ask us about the color.
No, the trusses, he said take 2 to 3 weeks to get the trusses in, so he's gonna sit there for another 2 or 3 weeks, and nothing's done on it, so waiting on the trusses. And he said, once you get the trusses up, we can put the building up and put the roof on the building, and then we pour the concrete in the back part of it, the big storage area type part after the building. Had the
You
roof
should
on
have
it.
told him he should have ordered the presents 2 weeks ago.
That's exactly what I said. We should have you said it 3 weeks ago, and he says, I agree. So, anyway.
It'll still be under roof by Halloween.
You can't quit saying that.
Yeah.
No,
I think you're jinxing
y'all have faith.
it.
All right. All right, any other discussion on, our building plans, so forth? All right, so down to new business, we're running pretty good. If y'all remember last meeting, I discussed this Safe Streets, for all, and we didn't have those numbers. So, I know Katie, Brittany, and Karen, got in touch with the fella, and, the organization, a group, they came back with these numbers, and this is basically, we've had 10 fatalities during that year of 2018 to 2022. We had another 290 persons experience serious or life-threatening injuries. And basically, this is a resolution, just that we're setting a goal to have an eventual 0 fatalities. But this will help us, and Brittany, you can help me out, I guess, a little. The paragraph in the middle is this will help us be in the running potentially through KIPTA as far as where we will develop a plan. We'll have assistance to develop this plan to analyze the existing conditions and the trends and identify the needs.
Yes, if you remember, we wanted to apply for sidewalks around the schools, and we didn't hit the little point system that they have in place for that. So we applied for a grant so that we could go back and basically, like it says in the resolution, see what our needs for the region are and apply for grants as a whole.
Yeah. So this basically just assists us, gives us a better seat at the table and better access to information if we pass this resolution today.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Zach, seconded by Dan, to approve the resolution in support of Springs County Fiscal Court supporting the Vision Zero initiative with the Safe Streets and Roads for All program. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
I'll say, could I ask one more thing? Yes. About I forgot about the animal shelter. We need some guidance here also. The outside portion of the building was not part of the original contract, okay? So, like the concrete for the kennels and the runs and all that, and the parking lot, pave it. I think we have to, do we have to rebid that? It'll be over $40,000.
If it's over 40, we'll have
So, I
to.
mean, we need to do something, because this drain's gonna be part of that outside work.
Well, no, that's true.
And then the concrete partitions is gonna be part of that. So to get that, keep that ball rolling, we need to make a decision on how we're gonna do it legally. If it's under $40,000, could we just award it to?
Well, see, the one price of the kennels was under 40,000 that I think Mr. White had. I mean, it was 30-something. Now, that didn't include the parking lot, that was just the kennels.
That's what I'm saying, can we break that apart?
The kennels is not part of the parking lot. Because you're not parking where the dogs is sleeping in the kennel.
It's got chain link fence around it and everything.
And concrete block lane.
You're saying it's not
It
part of
would
the
be
structure?
considered building. So, but if it's still,
It's part of the same project,
But-
it's kind of like piecemealing, so that you have
Well, here's the easy way to do it. Let's do it.
to
Get a
have
couple
two
minutes
separate
and-
things that were individually below 40, but together
Blah,
over.
blah, blah, that whole routine, sealed bid, you know, it's gonna take a month to even get it.
I think though, Corey, I agree with Corey, it's all part of the same project.
Yeah.
Now, we were aiming to blacktop it ourselves. You know, I was
Are
gonna
we
get
doing that, or are we having to do that?
us.
All right, well, here's a simple way of doing it. He can put the drain and stuff in. If we're gonna get the parking lot ready and the asphalt and outside, then what's the problem?
Well, because this drain is gonna be in amongst the kennels.
You said it's
When
great,
they
it
pour.
will match that when they come back with asphalt.
No, it's gonna be.
It'll be in the concrete in the kennel,
But that outside
The outside.
concrete inside the kennel wasn't included?
but it's not under roof.
anything outside those four walls we have now was not included in the original.
Well, why can't they run the plumbing and just stub the pipe up and whoever does the rest of the work from time to that pipe? Is that reasonable?
That's reasonable. No, but we do need to bid, and we can bid, the kennels again. And we have the drawings of the outdoor kennels, is that part of that plan?
Yes, Doug. Well,
Cause,
yeah, it was, yes, it is.
I remember we took bids on it. Cause we took bids on the buildings, and then, but I think he might have been the only one bid on the kennel. And then when we awarded it, we was discussing, we put it together and we landed that we can't, because it's two separate things. So, I mean, I kinda remember us having this conversation. But we'll rebid the kennels again.
Now, let me ask you this, if we're gonna rebid it, shouldn't we just rebid for getting the parking lot built, because it's gonna be built up to gravel, because we had to raise the building up a foot higher than we anticipated. So gravel's gotta go in there and roll down, and blacktop, and mark spaces and all that stuff. Do all that, and just keep the county road department out of it?
Well,
Keep us out of it?
I wanna try to save 30 grand. I mean, I think we can save the cost of the kennels by doing the blacktop ourselves. I mean, and we ain't gonna blacktop Mango.
No, I know. We gotta oversee that,
And we can do that.
however you wanna do it.
I mean,
So then
it's,
what are you gonna bid, just the outside kennels? What we're
Yes.
gonna-
The concrete work,
yeah, the outside kennels. We need to
the
bid the
concrete work,
outside.
the drains, the block walls between them, the chain link fence all the way around it, gates on the outside.
Everything all inclusive for the kennels.
Yes.
I thought the water work for the outside was included in the building, not the block work.
Because no, what we originally was gonna do was put chain link fence, and then we decided not to do that, because no, it's going to keep whatever we put in between, so we just decided to go with the block, just like the inside, which I think is.
I mean, you could have two bad dogs side by side and they wouldn't be fighting one another.
But none of that, I mean, outside the building was included.
So is there a footer there? Did they pour a footer for that? There's nothing.
Not yet, all that has to be pulled.
The only footer we don't have is a grade beam underneath the little 6-foot walls, which is, he said this is like a foot.
I don't understand why we didn't, when we was figuring, that's why we did bust the outside kennels off of it, why we didn't.
Because when they bid for the original building, most of them didn't include the kennels.
Most of them didn't want to do the kennel except for him, right?
And then we was discussing just going ahead and letting him do it, but it was going to mess up the procurement process, so we chose not to do it at that time, and we could do it later. And this is where we are now.
Now we got to.
Oh, but it ain't a big deal.
Again, the next court is, if it's under $40,000, we have to bid it.
It's part of this project where that's gonna be in addition to whatever else, and it's about 40. Yes,
It's below 40.
the entire animal shelter project is above 40. This is part of that animal shelter project. Even if this portion is above 30, together, if that's above 40, rebid it.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be the cleanest way as possible.
Yeah.
And we can do that, it'll be done in 2 weeks, we'll be ready to go. It'll be there by the time the trusses is there.
Okay.
So, now, to the blacktop,
You could build the whole building, it wouldn't matter, we could add that on afterwards.
true.
The outside kennel's not on the roof.
As long as the plumbing works and drain.
I mean, there's, we,
So does the
We ain't
county
putting the parking lot in, so they got a step out
Maybe, or
there.
what?
Well, we're gonna put the
Yeah.
concrete kennels in on the outside before we do the parking lots.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You know,
saying.
we can shoot grade, we'll put the rock down, we'll prepare it, you know, we got the stuff to do that. And then we'll get it in preparation, and then may go to blacktop. Hopefully they'll do it for the similar tonnage price that we're doing the roads. There's no way we can get it done any cheaper than that. So,
How many weeks do you want this in the paper?
whatever we're supposed to.
Legally.
You can just do it for 1 week, so I can have it to the paper by Friday. They'll post it on the 11th. We can run it for a week or two, it's up to you, and then it'll be on the agenda for approval on the 7th meeting.
Whatever the building is required.
Okay, then we're gonna have to submit some specs, so the contractors know what they didn't know, so
All right,
the office will put that package together, I guess.
all right,
We'll be able to take up.
we'll come up with it. As long as it's in those drawings.
Or I got it run out to get it.
Okay, if you would.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell me.
I'll get it to you.
Okay. That way, when they call to beat it, we'll have something handy.
Yep.
All right, we can do that.
But our guy doing it now, he does snooze, but he's built these once, right?
Yeah, he has. And I mean, I look for him to bid again.
Yeah, he wants to do it.
Yeah, but we gotta go through the process, or somebody else might be at the same job cheaper.
Well, I feel like if all we're doing is partition walls and concrete floors,
Yeah, I agree,
But you got all the
Concrete.
6-foot chain link fences around,
I've got that all.
everything, gates and everything, yeah, the chain link fence part of it was fairly expensive, I saw the price on it. But yeah.
all right,
Okay, do we need a motion on it?
to bid the,
Okay, I'll make a motion,
kennels.
I'll make a motion that we advertise to bid out the outside part of the animal shelter, which is a concrete chain link fence.
Dog kennels.
Okay.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
We got a motion by Jim, seconded by Mike, that we bid, to take bids on doing the outdoor portion of the dog kennels at our animal shelter. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. All right, page 53, we've got a budget amendment. Doug's here, Brittany's here. Basically, and you all correct me if I get any of this wrong, that since our fiscal year ended last year and some lines had surpluses, so we have to make a budget amendment to DLG to include, and we also included, if you look down, that $277,000, that's the amount of money that we got approved for the formerly called discretionary funding, where we're going to get Schultz Lane, Holden Road, and Cooks Lane blacktopped in our budget that we approved for this year. We had a zero on that line because last year we got a zero, but we were successful in getting 277, so we got to create a line for that to go. Also, the $10,050,000, and we had a lot of discussion on this. Corey was involved, Doug, my office, but that's the money that we were in the governor's, the legislature's budget for the sanitation district. So we need to include that because we will soon be getting funding through that mechanism. So that is included there. So if anyone has any questions above and beyond, oh, here's another one. The borrowed monies of $330,000, that was the RECC money that we got to put on the animal shelter. We had to include that, so we had to make an amendment for that. Is that pretty much it, Brittany and Doug? Any questions?
Few of the surpluses we just included since we were doing this budget amendment now, we'll just do that the discretionary and the sewer monies through the states, we needed to get the budget amendment done so we could take care of those projects. Plus, we needed to put money in doing the animal shelter because we thought it was going to be done at the end of the next fiscal year.
Okay, sounds good. Do we need a motion on that?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the budget amendment number 1 for the first reading, really. We're going to have second reading.
Well, we got to send it to DLG.
Yeah.
Second. All right, we have a motion by Jim, seconded by Zach, to approve the budget amendment 1 to be sent to DLG. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Thank you all. I've got on here pickleball costs, and I don't have anything in here to go with it, but Hope Goodley called, and we were talking about pickleball, and she's interested in getting pickleball started, and they had cost of somewhere up close to 60,000 a court, and got to questioning her and asking questions and so forth. Basically, a tennis court can be turned into 2 pickleball courts. All right? You need a blacktop surface, and you put up some nets, and you paint it, and you're ready for pickleball. And I talked to a guy that everybody here knows. His stepson goes to Bardstown and plays 6 hours some days. And we've talked about pickleball in the past, and now we have a resident that was interested in it. So I put some thought into it. I asked Brian and Daniel, what do you all think about we could take, and I've got an area, y'all can dislike it, it's fine, but just for starters, at Waterford Park, where the playground is, and the blocks, and the new fence we just built, that blacktop right there, for probably $10,000, we could build 2 pickleball courts, and that'll pay for putting up a fence, putting up nets, and getting it painted. And we've got 2 pickleball courts. We'll use the parking lot. Now we're going to lose about 4 parking spaces, but we could use the parking lot that's there, just put the fence up, because everyone promised me a pickleball is about like a ping pong ball, a little better.
Like a wiffle ball.
Yeah. I don't know that you could hit it and hurt someone. You know, I'm thinking, well, somebody's going to hit it and it's going to hit a kid on the playground, will it? I mean, can you hit it from here?
I mean, if you hit it
Could I hurt
as hard
Sandy?
as you could possibly hit it.
You know, could I hurt Peter and Sandy from here?
No, no.
What about halfway?
Maybe halfway you could, I don't know, it might sting, but it's pretty lightweight.
Well, you know, and also the safety issue of it, if it goes over into the parking lot, some kid runs across the parking lot while somebody's coming in. And they hit
Well, I
the
don't
car.
disagree with that.
I mean, that's why it's being fenced,
Well, yeah, for sure, yeah.
for safety reasons.
But,
Like 6, 8, 9 months ago, y'all at office put like that plan together or whatever. Wasn't there some sort of grant for pickleball courts?
I put it out for an imaging, and I did not receive any bids. So no one wanted to do the project.
if we build them from scratch, you have to, you know, ideally, when this conversation got started, and the perfect place is downtown here. Of course, Sandy's here, she's chair of the school board. Not to drag you in, but since you're here, and I like you, you know, working with the school and the city, that would be the perfect place to put it. But if we build it on educational property, it might take 6 months to get an approval. I mean, am I wrong by thinking that? Y'all have to go through Frankfurt, wouldn't you, Sandy?
And if you owned the property, if we sold you the property, but if we did some type of a long-term lease type of thing for 100 years or some type of we could have an interlocal type of an agreement, I believe.
Go through Frankfurt or just you guys and us?
I don't think there's much red tape on that.
Okay. You know, ideally, that would be a better place. But then we're looking at 60, 80,000 to build, because you gotta do the dirt work. Not that worries me. I think we could do that cheap. And the city appointed 2 members, the school has 2 members, and then I think we've got you 2 guys. You know, we have a committee together, and we could work on that this winter, and maybe have it by spring. But I was just trying to make it happen somehow.
Okay, we discussed about next to the courthouse, between the courthouse and the lawyer's office, blacktop and that. You get 3 in there real easy, you get them to move the tank around, out of the way. I mean, you know.
I'm not saying
I think
it's
though
waste.
I mean,
Where's all the people gonna park for that?
Downtown, where they park for car shows, where they park for any event we have.
well, we're gonna have a courthouse renovation, hopefully soon.
Hopefully
So
in
that'll
2
be-
years or less.
If we hedge our decision on that, then we'll never have it.
Have faith, Jim, have faith.
I don't think that it's not gonna happen soon.
I don't think it's appropriate to put it down in the water. We're already still, even with the extended parking, we're still busting at the gills, and pickleball season coincides with soccer season.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
I'm just
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just trying to come up with a path forward.
Initially, not in a fan of that idea, but I'm open to expand other, or, you know, my mind to other options.
Doesn't the city own that parking lot behind
They do.
the chamber?
They do.
It's already blacktop.
Get it all.
It needs re-blacktop.
Well, but just resurfacing it, not building a whole new.
Well, I don't disagree with that,
I don't know if there's a piece of level ground on back there.
but,
That's a problem.
all right, well, we don't have to take any action. I wanted to pitch it out to you all, that I'm just trying to come up with an option. But it sounds like, and thank you for being here, that maybe there won't be so much red tape downtown as we thought. And we'll need to get our 6-member committee together to make some recommendations.
Where are you talking about?
The old ballpark.
The old ball field
The old ball.
in town. Yeah, that all belongs to the school.
Or we talked about like splash park and stuff.
Yeah, in town. So, all right, well, that's all I have on that. So we'll go that route. So we'll be getting in touch, Sandy. All right, election workers pay increase request, on page 55. That down at the bottom,
You want like one for something?
well, if she'd like to.
Yeah, sure. I'm asking for a pay increase for the precinct election officers. They currently make $150 a day and $25 for training. I'm asking to increase, I think I'm asking to increase them to $175. It's a long day. There's several reasons that I'm asking for this. Other counties, it's in keeping with other counties, and I emailed out a list. Did everyone get that?
Of other counties?
I didn't see
I
that.
never
I
saw
can't
it.
send an email to you anymore,
They can.
to your personal email.
No, to my judge email, but go ahead. I didn't see it. Now, if you sent it this morning and if you sent it today, I haven't seen it.
I sent it yesterday, I believe.
I just got the one that's showing the rate increase.
Yeah, did you get it?
No, I got the one where you want to explain it's going from 150 to 175. I didn't get the counties.
I just know I requested a week ago to get what other counties are paying, and you suggested that I go to KCO to get it myself.
No, I
Well,
said,
you
I thought,
suggested I should go to KCO.
I thought
It says I believe
KCO,
Keiko has that information.
I thought KCO had that information because I thought they had done a survey of the county clerks. That's why I suggested that. When I saw that that was not done, I did prepare a document that's got county rates.
So I would,
Didn't we do a raise of election workers recently, like within the last year or two?
No, it's been a while.
Well, we have done it since we've been seated.
That's what I'm saying.
If I could real quick, it's going to be it is a very contentious election. All you got to do is get on Facebook and you see all the division and basically hate. Election workers are quitting, they're leaving because of all the threats that they're having against them. The turnout for the election is predicted to be between 73 and 76%. That was given to us by the State Board of Election. We have 16,896 voters, so if we have a 78% turnout, that's 13,179. We usually have about 20% of our turnout voting early, but that still leaves between 10 and 11,000 voters on election day in 3 locations. So they're going to be very, very busy. It's a long day, 14 hours plus. They have to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they stay until the last voter has voted and all the equipment is packaged and results are returned to our office. It's a long day, isn't it? Very long day. I've lost a lot of precinct workers because of the long day. The use of equipment. We will be using print-on-demand voting equipment exclusively for this election. That's going to be a lot more training for the precinct officers. They get a flat rate of $25 for the training, whether it's an hour or 6 hours. So they're going to have to train on that. That's going to add to the stress and just to the workload on them for election day. It's in keeping with other counties. Crittenden County is going to raise the rate to $180 for election day only, simply because of everything I just mentioned, and then they're gonna go down to their, I believe theirs is 150 normally. So those are the reasons I'm asking for an increase for them. And I would like to consider both the precinct officers first and then the Board of Elections separately. The $16.50 that the precinct officers make that work early elections, that's the 6-day early in my office and the 3-day no excuse early. If they got a 50 cent per hour raise, that would be in keeping with what the other county employees got on July 1. Or you could go, alternatively, you could go to a blanket $15 an hour for all of them.
I have one question. The $60 that you want to go to 150, this is just me not understanding, but they do the same thing that the people for the 150 going to 175 do on election day, right?
No, that's the Board of Elections, the County Board of Elections, which is made up of the sheriff, myself, a Democratic member, and a Republican member, are in session all day from 5 o'clock in the morning until we get the last elections.
On election day?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Now, your fee, what you would collect and what the sheriff would collect comes back to the county in your fees anyway.
That's correct, it does. So it's a washout. The only ones that would actually get money would be the Democratic member, Belinda Snyder, and the Republican member, Steve Hesselbrock. And if it suits you, you could make a motion that only the Democratic member get that money, because $90 isn't going to make much difference one way or another. But it's a long day, and it's a token of appreciation for the Board of Election members who are there all day.
You keep saying about it's a long day, 14-hour day. And is it possible that you could break that up into 2 7-hour days?
Statute does not permit for that. It's been tried to get passed before because they're elderly. We can't make that decision.
All right.
Precinct officers have to be there at least 12 hours a day, 6 A to 6 P, they can't leave. So that's a statute.
I'll make a motion that we approve all of these pay increases that are presented. And if I get a second, I'll give them a reason.
Second.
All right, motion by myself, seconded by Dan, to approve the pay increases for all the election workers listed. The reason that I bring that up is we all know that she stated the facts about this being a presidential election, and voter turnout will be quite large. There'll be a lot going on. There'll be a lot to keep up with. And these folks that are working are constituents of ours, and we appreciate folks that work for us. So.
Good. Do you have a total of what this increase would cost the county?
I do not, I'm sorry. I didn't know which way you would go, if you would approve part of it, approve all of it.
Well, it'd be easy to figure out how many people do you
How many
have.
election workers do you have?
We have approximately 60 to 65.
Maybe not so easy to figure out.
Well,
Either way, I mean, I think we need to get some raise, so it don't matter how many there is.
you know, and if you want to give them a raise for this election only and then go back to $150 in subsequent elections, you know, that's up to you. It's just, it is a very hard job. I challenge any of you to put a step in their shoes and work and serve that way. I don't think you do it. I know my co-clerks they said they wouldn't do it for $500. So they're performing a task that we would not be able to run an election without their service.
All right, any other discussion? And another point I'd like to make is that the state does fund us for running elections to a degree.
$2,295 less.
It's not a lot.
We got how much?
$2,295.
60 people got $25, $1,500 increase. That's the basic math I do here. Go on top of what he's
I'm sorry, I don't have those numbers. I did email them out to you. So I apologize, but.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor, and a second. So, we'll proceed to vote, and I'll do a hand vote this time. All those in favor of the increase, raise your right hand. All right, unanimous. Motion passes. Next is election postcards. We do have these quotes. Looks like there's not much difference between one and the other.
There's not, it's the size of the cards are the only difference. One's a 5.5 by 8.5, and the other's a 6 by 9. I asked her to quote both. Like you said, there's not much difference. The larger one is the card that Oldham County has gone with. You get a little bit more information on that card. But I think we need to set something up. We're getting a lot of calls about the election.
I'll make the motion that we go with the larger size card for a total of $6,860.34.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mike, seconded by Zach, to go with the larger size postal card to notify our residents about voting at an amount of $68.64. Any discussion?
Are these gonna look just the same as, whenever we get these, is there any way they can provide a demo of what these look like? I mean, obviously, we're not gonna do it now, just in the future, I'd just like to see what it looks like.
So do you want this motion to read?
No, I'm gonna approve the motion, for me, I'll just.
I think safer in the future.
Yeah,
Yeah, just,
sure.
you know, I thought they were gonna get something just to see what it looks
I
like.
didn't have them go into the step of doing any graphic design until we got approval, because that costs money.
The only concern I have is, and I know the previous court had the same concern, just can we make sure that on the card that it says this is provided by the Spencer County Board of Elections, not by the clerk, and not have anyone's name on it at all. You know, I'm not asking you to say that it's provided by Fiscal Court. I'm asking you to say it's the Board of Elections.
I mean, I can have it say Fiscal Court.
It don't have to. It's just as long as it says Board of Elections. All right. All right, any other discussion on the motion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. We're good on that. Gordian, Brittany. Brittany and I had a conversation with this fella, and can I just turn it over to you? Not throw you on the bus.
So Gordian is just a company that we met with that basically they take bids. They go through sole source, which we've used before. And when we want to do a project like a community events pavilion or an animal shelter or pickleball court or anything like that, they would act as basically the general contractor for that. And they would get in your bids for your architectural services, for your whatever you need, and instead of it coming to court and us having to come and debate it here, they would just bring us everything and we could vote on it.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to remember. I don't know if we got in that week like that.
Nothing for us. So in order for contractors to participate in the program, they pay Gordian, and then most likely, you want to know what that is, that cost would be built into whatever we pay for it, yeah. But up front, there is nothing.
What's the advantage of having them to do it versus we do it the way we normally do, put it out for bid?
We save time.
Well, somebody else came in here and pitched the same thing not so long ago. I think you knew or something.
Yeah, last year.
I don't remember what his name was.
Yeah, you remember the guy, I think came from Lexington.
Yeah, Mark Hicks.
Yeah, I don't think you all should make a decision today. I think it's worth looking into.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about construction. I really rely heavily on you all. I just know that you have a lot of stuff that you're trying to do, a lot of accomplishments that you want to make before the end of the term. It's going to come up really fast. So I just want to make sure that this is going as quickly as humanly possible, because in that last year, there will be a 65-35 rule that will kick in. So a lot of your projects are going to come to a standstill in that last year just because you can't spend more than X amount of dollars of your budget. So we talked about 8 months, something like that, right? 8 months.
How long would it take, this company to get, say, the ball rolling on the phase?
I would have to talk to them.
Yeah, we talked to the fella on the phone, and Lynn, if you wouldn't mind passing those 2 resolutions back, the ones we gotta get signed, so we can get them.
Only thing that bothers me about any of these companies, not just this one, I think we got a lot going on. This will be good, but the only thing that worries me is that, you know, say some of these local guys around here, you know, some people, I would probably be included in myself. I'm not gonna pay somebody, turn a bid in, you know, and I just hate to see it.
Do it yourself.
Yeah, would hate to see it push any kind of, you know, local guys or, you know, maybe some of the older generation have been in business for 50 years and it's just not the way they do it.
Well, like people like the contract with they know the
Well, you know, also is, you know, legally, where's this fall in as far as like, procurement and all that? I mean, do we have to
They
bid?
would be following the Kentucky State procurement policy. So instead of us having to bid out, they would bring us all of
No, I'm
these.
talking about the money that that these people are gonna generate for themselves, even though we're not giving them the money right now, it's coming from after the pavilion's built from the contractors who bid on it.
Yeah, it's not something that would directly impact us, if that makes sense.
That's not real.
Well,
What I'm saying is, what money this company makes, and they're not doing it for free, so there's a charge, they're gonna charge somebody for it, okay? Now, do we need to bid this portion out with Mark Yates have an opportunity to come in and say, hey, I can do this for this, or whatever? I mean, here, these companies making money and we don't have a clue how much.
You know, I can certainly ask what their membership fee is to be part of this. I can ask how many contractors they use in Kentucky.
Overall total project.
I think you need a lot of dollar amounts, sure,
If
but
we use this company to collect bids, would that preclude anybody else, like Will said, from bidding on a job that doesn't go through this company?
It would, because this would be Sourcewell, so this would be, they have already done the competitive bidding on their end. So if a company like Will said did not submit, because that's just not the way that they've done things, they would not be included in that.
so, I mean, I guess it's kind of, the bigger established will be participants.
that's not always true.
The little-
I know pretty
little
big guys
do.
that still use pen and paper. They got
Well,
multi-million-dollar jobs.
I don't disagree with you.
I mean, they're few and far between nowadays, but
If you all want, I'm more than happy to set up a meeting at the office where you all talk to them. Like I don't think you should make a decision today on it.
Yeah.
But it's just something to consider as you all have projects that move forward.
You know, we sent the bids out for the animal shelter and didn't go through anybody. I mean,
we're pretty damn full of time on that.
Yeah.
what can't we do this? I mean,
Well, we need to clarify something else too while we're all sitting here. We didn't do nothing, we voted to, she did.
Well, you know, but
We
I
need
know
to
that
clarify that, she did.
we went back and forth about architectural services, and I feel like that could have gone a lot better. You know, the animal shelter. I feel like if we'd had, you know, someone else that was over that as general contractor, probably we have an animal shelter by now. That's my only thought process on it.
I would have to agree.
I got something to add, I'm sorry, Bill.
I just agree.
But, you know, and Corey and I will, Corey will equally testify to what I'm fixing to say. As the sanitation district goes forward with projects, there's gonna be a lot of bidding. Not that us approving this, and I don't wanna vote on it today, but just let's get it in our heads that as we go forward, we're gonna have bigger projects. Now, it may be the sanitation district that'll get the bids as we construct and build. But still, we will have, still a lot of oversight.
And
So,
I anticipate.
I'm not for or against this, but I will say this, you know, it's a way for us to acquire help that's not really cost the county anything. I want to say that. A way to take some workload off of a few individuals. ready to start tackling the face and going over it. This is a way to, you know.
I agree with you totally. The only concern I have is, do we just pick this one company out of the
Well, I'm not saying we
or
do that.
do we allow other companies? I think we should open this
We
up
can-
to,
We can do that.
We can do
to let
that.
other companies come in and see, hey, this company says, we'll do this. Well, what's the other company may do something better. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Well, Jim, if you all want to make a motion for me to bid this out, I can, and then if you'd like, I can get you, you know, what that bid would look like, and if you want to meet with that company, kind of discuss it, we can.
Yeah, I'd just like to see, like, I mean, it's not gonna cost us anything, so really they're not bidding on anything, but I would like to know, because this company may charge, if
They're
Will
gonna
wants to
charge
bid
you
on
10.
something, they may charge you 10%, where another company might charge 5% or something, so.
Mark Yates did give us 10% total cost of whatever the project was, that's his fee.
Yeah.
Oversee it.
So I think
Yeah, at that point, you're.
that would be what the
And get
information that would be good
project.
for us, so that we could say, okay, this company's only gonna charge 5 or 8% or something, so, yeah, let's go with
I make a motion to let Brittany bid this out with other companies and bring those bids back to the fiscal court for us to review and make a decision at that time.
Second.
All right, have a motion by Mike, seconds all around, but I heard Zach first, I think, for us to get the bids and bring them back, and we'll discuss later on this work. All right, the motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
No,
All right.
that'll be agenda on the 7th.
Okay, all right,
Okay,
thank you.
one more question on the pavilion. Where do we stand on the pavilion right now, as far as site plan is done, and when we can do it?
We're getting there. When I met, that's,
We've been getting there for 2.5 years.
I know, but we're still getting there, Jim.
But I mean, really, where do we stand?
No, I told Hagan about where we discussed putting it up towards the front. And I also, thank you, you reminded me, I forgot to tell you something a minute ago. You all, kind of directed me to ask about getting the ingress and egress off the road. He's doing that. Hagan is doing that for us, so.
So they're still in the process of finishing up what their changes.
Are they in contact with the road department to see about getting them?
Yes,
That's what he's
but, yeah, he said that he would, and I said that our idea is that if we could come in off of there, we would drive all the way across the parking lot and catch up with the rear.
Yeah.
And he took all that in, so it's in the works.
Okay.
All right, I forgot about that access. Thank you, Jim.
I appreciate it. All
All right,
Okay.
okay. Andrew, we might make this easy on you.
I'm ready to make it easy. After I look at it.
We,
I already got a solution to it too, so
okay,
this was kind of done in haste, you know, after the sheriff, Kearney's retirement. I seen some issues with the security part of the doors because, like, I'm personally using a code that everybody else has been using for the past several years. I thought maybe the fobs would be a solution, but I'm thinking of sticking with the actual door codes. I had no idea it was going to be as expensive. One was astronomical, 20,000, and the other one was 5,000. But I think what we're doing, and they're actually here now, looking at the doors. We're going to wipe our doors, or the exterior doors, the code changed, and moving forward in the future, if the deputy was to leave, retire, or whatnot, we can just change that code.
I think that's very good.
So I think that's what we're going to go with for now.
yeah. And the cheaper locksmith guys, that's who we already use, that we've used in the past. I know he keys our doors and these special, I call them special keys, that you can't just get them everywhere. They all like, right. And, but he has the ability to take care of our locks and things.
So they're just doing it for you, just like for service call charge?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because originally I thought the locks, when I was here prior, under Buddy, we did have key fobs, and I thought maybe those locks were currently compatible to use the fob. So I thought that'd be simple, somebody leaves with it, I'll take the fob and
Well,
then move on.
that was gonna be my question for my previous knowledge, why couldn't we just change the code? Sounds like you were already on top of it.
So after seeing all the prices on that, I just don't want to move forward with that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
So go ahead, you got anything else?
Yep, I was gonna give you a report, because I'm not sure when the last report was that you all received. First, I would like to begin by thanking you, Judge Travis, for the appointment of sheriff. It is an honor and a position I take very seriously, and I will strive to do my best to lead, protect, and serve this county. Moving on to business, we have collected $204,786.39 in fees. These fees are, CDW, auto inspections, accident reports, court security, CLEV, and paper service. The projected amount for the fee budget back in January was $680,640. We believe we will be over that amount going off these figures by the end of this year.
Yeah, the big months, I guess, is property tax.
Coming up,
Yeah.
So I'm going off of Sharon's wisdom and all that. She projects that, we'll likely be over that 680. Enforcement, total citations were at 1379. DUI arrests, and this is going from January 1 to current. DUI arrests is 104. Drug cases 130. Warrant arrests 166. Other arrests 153. Paper served 720. We executed 2 residential search warrants over the past couple of months for drug trafficking. The drugs seized were methamphetamine, cocaine, and fentanyl. One of these cases stemmed from a joint investigation with KSB task force members, and we look forward to us continuing to work together by sharing information and identifying drug traffickers with the common goal of making Spencer a safer place to live, work, and play. Equipment. Just received 33 tasers along with cartridges, batteries, and holsters from the University of Louisville that are all the same that we currently carry now, the X2s. I would like to personally thank Damon Jewell and the University of Louisville with their help in obtaining these. It pays to have a good working relationship with agencies across the Commonwealth. Thousands of tax dollars were saved, and this will allow us to run with the current model we have that is obsolete. Taser is no longer making the current model we have. So we have a lot of them now, and hopefully this gets to the next few years. Block cameras are being installed. I believe we currently have 3 of the 6 cameras since we last spoke at last meeting. The 2 on Little Mountain Road and the 1 on Bloomfield Road is up and not working. We received the body armor that was ordered through the Attorney General grant. This also did not cost the county any money, and we probably saved $6,000 for the 6 vests we have just received. DARE program is soon to be underway, starting this month on the 10th. We met with Spencer County and Taylorsville Elementaries along with North Point. I'm excited for the county to have more involvement in our schools and our future generations. I believe drug awareness in our schools is needed now more than ever with the opioid crisis. Personnel, we have hired an experienced deputy to replace Deputy Barry after he left us for employment in Nelson County. Robbie Lyle is coming to us from Lawrenceburg PD and will start Monday. He is experienced as a corrections officer, paramedic, and 12 years law enforcement. We've also found a replacement for Chief Deputy Chris Herbstreit. He's a resident here in Spencer County who currently works at Shelby County as a sergeant and a TFO for the Secret Service. TFO is a task force officer with the Secret Service, and we're going to be moving that over here as well. We'll talk in a future meeting. The final hire will also be coming at the end of the month. Will be Toby Lewis as a full-time investigator. He also brings a wealth of knowledge, experience as a law enforcement officer, and comes to us from the detective position at Shelbyville PD. think that has y'all pretty much up to date with everything I can think of as of last night, I like this.
Could you elaborate on the break-ins last night?
All the break-ins, yes, we received calls at 3 o'clock this morning over in the Landings neighborhood. We had a few cars gone through, and we had a BMW stolen from Fox Lair in Elk Creek. I've already obtained video from the Circle K, their hat makers, used to be hat makers in Jefferson County. And there was 2 vehicles involved and multiple probable juveniles, teenagers with those vehicles. So it is starting.
You people out there, go somewhere else.
Lock your vehicles.
Yeah, residents, lock your vehicles, and you thugs get a job, and you'll enjoy life better than turning to crime.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you much.
Thank you, Andrew, and appreciate, we look forward to working with you. All right, year-end financial report. Doug, did you figure out where to get the Christmas on Main money?
He forgot.
Yeah, one job.
I'm sorry, Doug.
I did a transfer, from there I had to add, I transferred ahead, so. When we get to the bills and invoices.
We're there.
We're there.
Well, we have the year-end financial report, that's in your book. I don't have the page numbers down, but it runs to, I guess about, I don't know, page 90. And then, of course, our bills start on 91 and run through a ways. And then the transfers, I think, are on page 101. Go ahead, Doug.
They had a transfer for $4,000 to community events line item. I take it from the reserve transfer, there's 4,000 there, we can do it all one transfer for now.
Okay.
And I'll email them
The account number
the
and
account
things.
numbers.
All right. All right, thank you. So, we did get that covered. Thank you, Doug.
All right.
I was thinking about the report, whether there's any questions on that, that's why I was.
Yeah. So if y'all have any questions on the report or the bills, I didn't flag anything in particular.
Put the first page ad, like in the main that's covered, and it'll be put on the website. If somebody wants to contact, get a personal copy, we'll get them one.
Motion to pay the bills, make the transfers.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Zach, seconded by Mike, to pay the bills and make the transfers and approve the invoices. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes on that. I've got one other thing I need to do from last night at the sanitation meeting. Corey and I attended. We had a nice 2-hour meeting of busy discussions. And they did recommend that, we have the one account at German American Bank, and I learned this last night. That account will only take the money in from KIA. When we start spending money, it won't be out of that KIA account. It needs to be out of an operations account. So we need to set up another account to use as operating going forward. So they recommended to us to get another account established for operations of the sanitation district.
You gonna have a motion?
Yeah.
Motion to open another account for operations for the sanitation district.
Second.
All right, have a motion by Will, seconded by Zach, for us to open another account for sanitation.
Okay, I know the sanitation district recommended, but is that reason enough to open one? I mean, really?
Yes.
I think the members that are on that board
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but we're voting on what they're doing, so we gotta
It's
take
open,
over the city.
it's open in operations account, so there's that first of all. Secondly, what's currently open is for money for the WRIS number money, which would be the line item grant that goes for the sanitation district. That money can only be used for improving wastewater treatment. If and when the time comes that the sanitation district oversees a wastewater treatment plant, let's say you have, buy chemicals that month, or you send out mailing your invoices or to the actual customers, those sorts of funds would need to be covered from an operations account, not the WRS account. This is just setting up that operations account.
And as far as the signers on it, Corey is researching who the signers need to be
Right.
as we move forward, so. But yeah, but basically this is just, getting an account up so that we are operational. For example, if, and we're getting ready to go into executive session here when this is all over, but for example, if we do have something that we need to spend for, we have to have an account to take it out of. We can't take it out of the AIA account. So, all right, we have a motion and a second to open the account. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. I make a motion now that we adjourn into executive session as per KRS 61-810, letter B, dealing with real estate, and also 61-810, letter F, discussions or hearings might lead to the appointment, discipline, dismissal of an employee.
And I'll add C as well.
C?
Yeah.
Okay, on pending litigation?
Pending litigation as well.
Okay, and add C. All right. Have a motion by myself, seconded by Zach, for we go into executive session as per KRS 61-810, letters B, C, and F. This is neither debatable nor amendable. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. We can recess if you like. Peter, Sandy, appreciate it. I'll be in touch with you on the pickleball and the Christmas tree.
That's good, I'm already letting you know you're gonna contact me.
Okay.